Game 2 of the current series. If you've not yet seen Game 1, you might want to go watch that first. There'll be a link in the description as well as in a button on the video. Game 2 now from Group F at the Winter Assembly between Liquid.Taeja, or now, as of almost a month after this game took place, Liquid.Taeja versus Liquid.Jinro. Now Taeja is the red Terran down in the 5 o'clock position here on Antigua Shipyard, while Jinro is the blue Terran up in the 11 o'clock position. Now in the last game, Jinro tried some tricks with Cloak Banshees that were shut down quite easily by Taeja, having blind countered it, and then also seeing the where the first Banshee was approaching from, thanks to a well-placed Marine. And then he simply kind of outmassed and outplayed Jinro, and Jinro launched a slightly all-inish attack. He had pulled a few SCVs for it that was shut down. Now Jinro asking about what the third map will be. Supposedly it never hurts to plan ahead, but this seems like it could be a dangerous distraction to be thinking about. Taeja's unsure, and naturally that might express the player's opinions about the game. Obviously, Jinro curious, he's confident he can take this, and therefore they'll see a third map. Whereas
Taeja telling him that he can choose. Okay, it sounds like it'll be Cloud Kingdom for the third game.
Yeah, the ref telling that. Whereas, Taeja initially dismissing the prospect of a third game, perhaps. I mean, that's why he didn't care. He's like, oh, I'm just going to beat you anyway, and there won't be a third game.
Yeah,
at least maybe
map won't matter.
Assuming here, but
both players still just completely mirrored. Jinro's Scout. Yeah, Scout moving out.
Yeah, checking for a proxy. Now heading down south. Just making sure nothing silly's going on. Yeah, so Cloud Kingdom for a potential third map. Daybreak, Antigua, Cloud Kingdom, 3 of the finer maps used in competition.
Yep, both factories going down now, both Marines coming out. Orbital commands getting upgraded.
That almost makes me want to root for Jinro here. I usually try to stay unbiased, but an opportunity to see Cloud Kingdom is always fun.
I like Jinro. I miss when he was in the GSL more.
Jinro's as small as he gets up the ramp. The Marine is here to shoot it, but he's going to see everything anyway.
Jinro's adding a reactor. Taeja's adding a tech lab on the barracks. Maybe not that exciting, but
Taeja finishes up the tech lab and is instantly building a starport on it. Moves his barracks to an interesting position. He also kind of has a dolphin of production buildings here with his 111.
yeah.
While Jinro doing the same thing.
Also doing
in terms of
111.
Not in
Still
terms of
has a line of building.
Yeah, well, and also importantly, he has a reactor and is keeping it on his barracks.
Yeah, but he is producing Hellions. One out already, one on his way. Taeja's first Hellion is moving out across the map.
Taeja getting a Banshee right away. No cloak yet, though. Hellions meet each other. However, Jinro's Hellions have Marines right behind him. Careful Hellion v Hellion micro going on here, exchanging an even number of shots. Meanwhile, Jinro is starting up some Viking production. Jinro's forces have taken the advantage in the center, forcing Taeja's Hellions away now. 2 Hellions and 3 Marines versus 2 Hellions. However, that first Banshee is almost out for Taeja and is queued up to go straight north. It finishes right behind it. He's now building a Viking. Wow, Jinro once again supply blocked. Both players supply blocked currently, actually. Jinro just broke it. A few Hellions running into Marines and Hellions. Jinro actually lands his Viking in order to help with this push a little bit. Taeja is now getting his command center as natural. Jinro is pushing in. Taeja has a few more Marines coming from behind. Vikings going down. Viking survives for now, is getting repaired by a few SCVs. The Jinro pulled to join this attack.
Taeja's Banshee arrives. Fortunately, Jinro's second Viking's out now.
Now the command center is forced to be cancelled. And now Taeja is advancing up into Jinro's force. Jinro does have the advantage for now, though. Loses his Viking, though. Just has 3 Marines and 2 SCVs left here. 2 more Hellions coming in, as well as 2 more Marines, though.
Taeja's Viking, or Banshee, did get 8 SCV kills in Jinro's main before getting shot down by the second Viking Jinro produced.
Yeah, bringing the SCV count to 14 for Jinro to 27 for Taeja. Substantial advantage to Taeja. Jinro is still holding the somewhat of a contain here with these few Marines, SCV, and a couple Hellions. Taeja has a few Hellions and a couple Assault Mode Vikings. And Jinro does have the Flying Viking here as well, helping provide sight. He also has a second Flying Viking arriving. Taeja's Vikings take off. Take the disadvantage in the engage. Jinro's Vikings get the first shots off. Ooh, but Taeja's Vikings focus fire, and rather than splitting between both, they kill one of Jinro's Vikings. Jinro's Viking lands, and Jinro's now pushing up into Taeja's base, though, with Hellions and Marines and the Assault Mode Viking. But he is being cleaned up. Just 1 Marine and the Assault Mode Viking left versus a Hellion. More things streaming in for Jinro. Taeja now pulling SCVs to engage this Viking. Oh, Viking takes off, there's 2 hit points. A couple more Marines now coming in for Jinro. The new Viking that is mid-condition lands to join the Assault Mode.
Oh, which is unfortunate because that's the only way that Jinro was going to get that Viking out. And it didn't, took out the dead one.
Shot. Then lands and gets healed by SCVs to avoid engaging Jinro's high health Viking. Jinro has 2 reasonably good condition Vikings here. Taeja just has his 1 and a Hellion.
Jinro's starting its natural expanse.
Now Taeja still has a substantial SCV advantage, 29 to 20. And he has stabilized in his base now. A couple Vikings, a couple Marines, a couple Hellions, versus Jinro has 3 Hellions and a Marine outside his base.
Couple Banshees landing in Taeja's mineral line. Take off and get chased away by Taeja's Viking. 1 goes down.
Meanwhile, the Hellions and Marine come in the front. But they're
Blue
going to
Flame
be shut
versus
down.
non-Blue Flame.
Yeah, they get shut down by Taeja's Hellions. And Taeja is now lifting his orbital command and landing it in his natural. Jinro, on the other hand, is just say 80% of the way done completing building a command center at his natural. He's switching his starport to his reactor. There's also getting a tech lab on his barracks, but it looks like it's ready to be switched to the factory. His factory is hovering over there. Yep, barracks lifts. So Taeja's have a 57 supply to Jinro's 43. Continues to have an 8 SCV advantage, 33 to 25.
Some Hellions of Taeja's moving out across the map.
Yeah, a group of 6 Hellions. Now out in front of his natural. Jinro has a couple of Assault Mode Vikings and 5 Hellions waiting. Also a couple more Vikings that are flying in. Blue Flame Hellions taking a substantial advantage over non-Blue Flame Hellions. However, 6 of them go down. The other 3 run right into Jinro's mineral line, being engaged by another Hellion and also having some SCVs pulled on them, accomplishing very little ultimately.
Yeah, not killing a single SCV there.
Yes, a disappointing run-by attempt for Taeja. Now Taeja is double pumping the Vikings, as is Jinro. Jinro is just about to get his own Blue Flame, whereas Taeja is almost done getting siege mode and has multiple tanks on the way. So Taeja switching to a more normal mech composition, and Jinro does not have much to deal with tanks currently. And Jinro is building a wall at the top of his ramp to his natural. Supply depots.
Yep, which will unsupply block him.
Yeah, once again with the supply box for Jinro.
A lot of them have been fairly minor, but still present. The Vikings and Hellions sort of flying under and over each other.
Jinro catching a bunch of Taeja's Hellions in a very disadvantaged Taeja's position, getting a lot of relatively free or cheap kills.
Taeja sieging up 3 tanks at his front. That's basically all he's got to defend against this group of 6 Vikings and 5 Hellions.
Yep, 7 Vikings now flying up over Taeja's base, engaging Taeja's Vikings, which are reinforces the Raven. Raven drops PDD, but now they are leaving the range of the PDD. Hellions coming in and seeing the 3 siege tanks, and Jinro GG's. He has nothing to do anything about those tanks.
Yep, and his Vikings in retreat were losing the battle to Taeja's.
Yep. Interesting comp. Jinro's comp there is basically Hellion Assault Mode Viking.
Yeah, it's not one you usually see. Usually the Vikings do a good job to back up the tanks and the Marines, but interesting.
Yep, so that gives the series to Taeja 2-0, as he went on to take first in this group. Be interesting to see the now teammates meeting each other in a tournament about a month ago. Be fun to see where Liquid goes now that they're shaping up so well as a team.
Yeah. Now only 2/3 foreigner, 1/3 Korean.